Hello and welcome back. This will be episode 25 of The Baker's Dozen, The Deep Beckons. Now, without further ado, let's do a recap of the previous episode. A mist of brackish water continues to fall from the sky, its flow greatly reduced, as a trickle now falls from the aquatic hodgepodge well wall before the Baker's Dozen. The party gathers and Tamarin keeps watch, while the others take a moment to patch themselves up. The blue dragonborn notices several odd creatures, land animalia with odd aquatic features, within the puddles that the defeated elementals left behind. These creatures appear to have the familiar corruption of the deep upon them. Investigating the portal, it is deduced that the age of the well wall pieces aligns with other well walls that they have encountered. But its construction is not as ancient. Misheni senses the pressure of an ocean beyond its threshold, realizing that this gateway goes somewhere other than the well wall continuum. Searching through the book where they keep the idol, Tamerson notices that the idol has given itself a crosshatch drawn form and can pass through the pages at will, fleeing from the inward gaze. The Seeker's compass is used to attempt to locate another eldritch idol, as it points to the arch before them. Hurt and Misheni tether themselves to boulders, activate the portal, and plunge into the rushing waters, finding themselves surrounded by darkness and submerged in water. Across a drop-off is strewn a bioluminescent coral mushroom forest, and before it, an extremely surprised and odd Kuatoa youth. Now, let's get back to the action. Welcome back to CrestVahllen.
Hello, and welcome back! A lot of stuff happened. I think we fixed the problem that was happening, but that's okay. Moving forward, last we left off, you, Hurt and Misheni went through the very wet portal of the rushing water, and you found yourself completely submerged on all sides. Okay, you guys need to, your children, I can tell, your children so much. You guys found yourself very wet on the other side of this portal, surrounded by water on all sides, being thrown via very strong current and tides, unsure of all you can see is this underground mountain range rushing from each side, and you turn around, like, right behind you, your shoulder, and you see these massive stretches of coral mushroom forest. It's very, very odd, and it's expansive, and then just, like, kind of sitting there on the precipice over, like, kind of like a drop-off, just swimming there, floating, is a Kuatoa youth, I would say. And in case those you are not familiar, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Kuatua or whatever. Yes, let's move the music over to, I'm going to say tense now, because this is what's happening. Bum ba bum bum bum. There are fish-like humanoids with big eyes on either side of their head. Sometimes they're a little closer to being front, but most like they're on the, and they've got big gaping mouths. Look like fish, kind of like bass fish. They usually have like these tendrils, things that almost look like beards that kind of hang down from the sides of their face. They've got these hunched fish-like backs and very stringy, scraggly, stringy, like sinewy arms that kind of hold like a spear or something else like that, and little like webbed feet again with like little legs that are very stringy and scraggly and sinewy. Usually have like a dorsal that's of one of those fins that collapses with like the hides on it with membrane in between it, and they're kind of bulbous. They're just kind of like stout and like not appeasing to the eye in by any stretch of the imagination. And they're just, and this one guy's just like, and one bubble just comes out of his mouth, and he's just staring at both of you, like being from this water out in front of this, what looks like, as you look into it, just like no light, just a normal ass cave, probably like some sort of coral cave with like kind of rocks around it that kind of make this archway, very nondescript. You cannot breathe. You see this individual, Hurt, turns around and says, because she can speak underwater, "The fuck you looking at, fish fry?" And he just goes, and just kind of like runs away behind one of the coral mushrooms and just like peeks out behind it. And it looks like he's holding like a little spear made out of coral and like sand glass, like sea glass.
As he swims away and like is excited and stuff and reels open, don't see any. Do I see any evidence of corruption
on him?
Like,
go ahead and roll perception check.
He's not trying to eat you, so maybe not.
Yeah, hope not. 17.
17? Not that you can see. You don't see any barnacles or anything on him?
Okay, I'll just take a closer look at, like, kind of try to look around and look at where we are and see if, you said it's just nondescript, kind of a cave.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The
Entrance?
Ropes that you're tethered to just kind of like descend into darkness of this like naturally forming coral cave before you that kind of stretches out. That's kind of appears to be like connected to like this underground mountain range, which is like just what the sea is, and that then probably goes up into a drop off that's more, but you can see it's like dark down here because you're surrounded by water, and like appears to be some bioluminescence from a little bit from the coral mushrooms. It appears to be the only other source of light other than your bolt. So yeah, like it doesn't look like the water, like the well wall hodgepodge thing from this side at all. It looks very like just an abscess in like the side of an underwater mountain range. And then your rope just kind of descends into obscurity, into the darkness within it.
Okay, and then there was no other structures that I can see within sight besides the mountains and the coral mushroomy forest.
Unfortunately, with the light that you have, no, because your vision kind of drops off pretty quickly. Just because it doesn't seem to be very. You do see what looks like two like coral, but also like anemone-like creatures that appear to like flank the entrance of this thing, kind of like right where you are. That just appear to be a little out of place because they're so perfectly like go flank the on either left side, almost like they're guards that do give off a little bit of light. But other than that, when it comes to this mountain range, there's not much. You see a couple of other things of like different gradations of other corals and stuff, but it quickly, without light, it very much drops off. There doesn't appear to be any. If there is a surface, there doesn't appear to be any light coming from it, which means you're either very deep or there isn't a surface. But you do see quite a bit of light coming from like the bioluminescence of like the mushroom coral forest thing, and from this individual who like appears to have like a little bit of a light like that's kind of glowing off the sea glass of his spear.
Okay. All right, so something that we're pretty deep.
The rest of you, while you're thinking about that, the rest of you see Misheni and Hurt just disappear. Hit by a waterfall, look like they got knocked out, but they just disappear. And then the ropes go completely taut, like piano wire, really, really, really taut. And you can hear them like straining against whatever pressure and weight this is, as you guys see this happening, and the area starts to fill with water. And you realize very quickly that these ropes will be underwater at any moment.
How long seem to be holding, though, right?
For the moment.
How long should we wait?
Well, I mean, Hurt can breathe underwater, and Misheni has the 8-hour breathing potion, so kind of assume that they might be down there for a while, right?
That's true. I do have one last sending I can do if you
To them,
we get worried.
We might need that for the ship, though.
I mean, they're a little bit more important, I think.
Well, let's give them a few minutes. I think they'll probably poke their heads back up if everything's safe, right?
Yeah, I say when we get worried.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Misheni and Hurt, you guys are still being pulled into like the greater area of like whatever water, like kind of in the direction, just kind of blown out of this archway. Like you still feel like the current just like pushing up against your face. This rope is very, very taut. Like you can't really maneuver in the position that you're in. Just you can't. It's like being. Imagine the feeling of being like towed by an airplane in the middle of the air. That's kind of what it feels like. But you're stationary.
Got it. I mean, assess just by a fast perception, I see that there's nothing really like out of the ordinary here that I would assume would be just, I mean, there was a normal Kuatoa, albeit scared, and like, so, and then just more natural kind of looking forces. So I'm going to, and other than thinking that we're probably pretty deep, I'm going to turn around and start trying to just climb my way back on the rope, pulling my way back towards the opening so I can let the others know.
You're fighting against a very strong current, a very strong like riptide. So I want you to roll an athletics check for me.
Okay. Of course, trying to swim as much as I possibly can.
Advantage.
For athletics isn't dexterity.
Athletics is strength, not dexterity.
Oh, I hate you so much.
8.
8. Okay. Let's see. No, that doesn't do it. You pull and you try to swim and you just find yourself not really making any headway. What you do realize is that probably the way the rope comes out of this cave is the way the crow flies, right? It's a direct, straight line, straight out. So you imagine, okay, well, I got to think for a second. If there's water coming out of the gate on the other side, there has to be a position to approach this cave in which it would suck you in rather than blow you out, right? So, but the way you are approaching it is you're going far too against the stream. But being attached to this tether kind of limits your maneuverability quite a bit.
Well, I'll still try to just swim a little bit to try to get into that riptide going back out then.
I understand. So you're like trying to strafe, keeping the same distance.
Yeah. So it'll be like instead of being right in the middle. Yeah, basically trying to get to the outer portion of that cylinder that
following like the circumference perimeter of like the length that you're. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You can do that. You do at some point reach a point of like neutrality, of like neutral buoyancy, and then if you keep going, you feel a tug farther in, almost like the very edges of its influence like are sucking it in, but like the big cone that's coming out the center is pushing a lot out, almost as like it's just this big cyclone siphon thing. It's very difficult to describe, but you understand.
What I'm going to do then is in the neutral buoyancy part, I'm going to swim normally and try to see if there's anything more I can see within the gate before basically popping up into the stream that would push me towards the rest of the gang on the other side of the portal.
Okay, I see. Even with your magical light. Okay, so yeah, you walk up with your magical light that you have, this bolt that is lit by the spell light. And you get close to this dark cavern, and within, you just see more cavern. Okay. Roll an intelligence check for me.
I don't know.
You see this dark cavern, but it is... Yeah, sorry. You see this dark cavern, but it's not reacting to the light at all. Like it's not being lit. It's staying just as dark, even though the light is right next to it.
Okay. Well, I know that light shouldn't work like that, at least. I don't know why, but I think to myself, that's weird. Everything's so weird today. I don't know why I can't figure things out. All right. One word.
Okay, cool. You
So then
leave
I'll-
Hurt behind and you go right back through the thing.
Well, I would have. I would want to motion to her that I'm going back. She can stay if she wants, but I would have done like
She's
some sort of...
yeah, she's like, "Ah!" And she just kind of looks at you like, "Ah!" and like almost turning to the dude like she's like, come on. She's kind of very hyper focused on the Kuatoa dude, kind of like a dog that's chasing car, that kind of thing. Cool. You
So then I'll
get sucked back in. You see Misheni like coming out of a drain pipe, like a spillway pipe, just, and you get thrown into the water that is filling up the cenote. By now, like a good 15 feet high, all of you guys are kind of like climbing up the edges of the cenote to avoid being in the water. Looking down, you see the rope that had Misheni in it go slack as you see this entity just be thrashed into the water, absolutely like ragdoll hit by a bull, and like running the bull in Spain, just thrown into the water. Eventually, you find your way to the surface.
Hey guys. Well, okay. Hey guys, I take the potion out of my mouth. So it goes to probably very deep under the water. There was, I think, one of your old people there, the Kuatoa, I think you mentioned their name.
Oh.
He didn't seem to be infected, or they didn't. But this mushroom forest, it looked very normal, except for like this, obviously the portal. But it only looks like a portal on our side and not on that side. It was very dark, and like oddly dark. But other than that, so not a clear way of what we should do with it, other than we'd be very deep and underwater, and only some of us can do that. Hurt's still over there, telling that Kuatoa to bug off, because he was kind of a little surprised that when they saw us. So
no sign of any idol or anything like that?
Not that I could see. No. But it's very dangerous kind of riptides overall. Anything on this side that you could see?
How long was she down there for?
Nope.
Or in the portal for?
Like 30 seconds, if that.
Nothing
And the
to
water
report here.
is rising.
Okay.
Could you... I mean, I can hold my breath for long.
Yeah.
Do you want to take the compass in there and see if it kind of directs anywhere?
Oh, yeah. How long does it go for?
I believe it's an hour, or is it 10 minutes?
Let me see.
At the very least, you could
10
maybe
minutes.
talk. 10 minutes? Okay. But it would just be for you, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he just activates the magic item, and then the magic
Yeah.
item is just points, no matter who it's
Okay.
just a compass that points in a direction of the thing he said for 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you go? Because I know you can hold your breath for a while, and talking to somebody would affect that, but you could at least talk to the Kuatoa and figure out where this is, too. Nothing else.
So you want me to go down and you stay up here, or?
Sure, or I can come with you, but up to you. I see it's filling up
I mean,
fast.
that's literally up to you. If you want to go back down or not.
As the water continues to rise.
I'll come back down, just because I know the way, and I can show you and stuff, and if things go really wrong,
Okay.
All
right.
All right.
All right, Scoop, you
potion
will
back
not
to
have
you.
a tether attached to you for this.
Okay.
Okay. You
I will tie the tether onto the scoop instead as he gets down into the water, and I will
you take it off you and you
just
do it on
swim.
there. Okay, that'll take
Yeah.
a couple seconds, but like again, the water is rising. Okay, cool. You tie it onto a scoop. You both swim into it.
Whoa, Tamron. If the rope has light on it, pull us, okay?
Okay.
Cool.
There you go.
You get pulled down by the waves by Misheni. She plops the potion in her mouth but doesn't open it, and you plunge. When you feel a scoop again, just absolutely no idea as to which way is up. Bubbles everywhere, water everywhere, just in all orifices, just light. Yeah, exactly. That's one for the books.
Washing
and
machine.
You get pushed out, and then I'm gonna roll another Constitution save for the rope as it could possibly snap. That is a 10. It is just, you hear, and you can see it, like it's holding on, but it's not at full strength anymore. You doubt it could stand this strain for a long period of time, especially after being snapped and whipped like that twice.
I'll motion for you to follow me up into that like neutral buoyancy point, so you can at least see.
Okay, cool. Ascoop, I'm going to have you roll an athletics check because you don't have a swim speed, and this is a very difficult, even to strafe against this current is very difficult.
I just can I kind of hold on to Misheni too, or?
Yeah. I'll say with her swim speed helping you, it'll take a while, but you'll just automatically succeed. Yeah, that's fine. She can just tow you if you'd like. Misheni, I need you to actually roll an athletics check to hold on to a scoop and not get blown like way farther away from the cavern.
4.
So as it whips and you sense that whiplash type of feeling, Misheni just gets flung off of you and blown much farther to this like coral mushroom, like bioluminescent forest thing. You end up like no more than, I'm going to say, like 15 feet from this little Kuatoa youth that's like looks at you, goes and hides behind another like big old mushroom stalk. And you just see her just like slowly turning, like trying to reach, like, I'm gonna get you, you little fish. And she just like slowly rotating. You can see like, well, all of her limbs and her legs are like forced this way because she's now turned so that she's facing the coral forest, but she's still tethered on her waist. So her arms and her legs are just like, as she's like arched over, but she's just slowly turning, threatening this dude. So by the time she says that, she's like upside down, turning to be like lateral.
Do they, since they see me coming in, do they respond to the symbol anyway? On my shirt, or they just?
They don't. They're so wrapped in whatever is happening right now, they don't even see you. Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless of what's on your shirt.
Okay.
I'll try to right myself, even though I'm pretty far away, and I'll try to like motion to her again to try to get up and swim to that like neutral point. And as I try to make my way over to a scoop, again in that neutral zone.
Okay, yeah, okay. So you try to like go, you have to go up quite a bit to like find, because it's like a cone, it stretches out so that the sphere of influence, or the radius of it, the cone of influence, gets wider and wider and wider the farther away from it. But yeah, you eventually find that sweet spot and you approach him. It's going to take you a little bit to get to him. What is it you're telling her to do? You want her to go back through the portal?
I want her to go up to the neutral spot so she can also...
yeah, sure. Let's just see if she's listening. She's like, what? But... And she just, she's the only one that can speak because she can breathe underwater and you can hear her. So you see her go up. Whoop, there we go. You see her go up. Eventually she does find the sweet spot, and she finally rights herself and like is standing there as well. Still like the tether rather taut, just because she's still pulling against it.
It's gross.
There you go. You froze for a moment.
That's okay. Yeah, for some reason it froze for a little. So anyway, she does find the sweet spot. She does go up. She's still pulling the tether rather taut just because she's still swimming against it quite a bit.
Okay. All right. And then eventually get over to the scoop then too?
Yes. Yeah. Given enough time, you will. Yep. You get over to the scoop.
And I'll take you up to that spot where...
And as you nod a scoop, the rope snaps, and you get like kind of wistfully because you are like you were on your way to get to that neutral buoyancy point, so the current is much like not as strong, but you still just kind of like you can never come back. Just kind of like just dissipating into the ether, just as he goes off, and you just see a scoop off into the dark.
I say, Misheni, don't worry. Like,
and then you lose sight of a scoop because there's no light.
So can I go to Kuatoa?
You can't see anything. You are in utter darkness all around you.
Do I see the ropes now?
Okay.
You went out into like an empty spot. You got like thrown out because you were at an angle. So you just kind of got thrown out into like the vast empty ocean that is so dark. You reckon that you're not too far from where you were, but you're still like you have no sense of direction.
So I can't see anything?
You can't see anything. You're blind and you can't breathe.
Great.
Yes, Tamron, go ahead.
Great. Did I see the rope snap?
Yeah, the rope went slack.
Okay. But there's another rope that's attached to...
still holding Hurt. Yeah, that's Hurt's rope.
Okay.
I mean, I would have gone after him.
You can go after him if you like. You still have his
I was
bolt.
just slow. I didn't know I was going into the void. I thought it was just like slowly.
Well, yeah, because you're so like the if you imagine the cave like right here, and on the other side of like this kind of like chasm, this drop off is like this bioluminescent mushroom forest. But you got pushed off like up and to the right, or to the left, whatever, it doesn't matter. Up into like the left, out into like open water, just nothing. You can't see the ground, and it's dark because there's no light. So you just get kind of slowly put over there. Misheni, if you want to pursue him, you absolutely can. And you can stay within sight of him.
Can I fight it back?
But with the meager amount of light you have, if you look back, you won't be able to see anything. Which is odd to you because in the water with bioluminescent things, like things that create light, you should be able to see them from very far off. So this appears to be like some sort of edge of some sort of magical veil or something that you kind of like are... This is somewhere you're probably not supposed to be. And you just kind of get that feeling in your blood as a ranger, just like the cool kind of runs up your spine of like, oh, I just went from being a predator to being prey.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I couldn't fight back at all with this current, or not?
I mean, without a swim speed against this current, no. But yes, you can now continue if you'd want to try to swim. And you see Misheni approaching you with this light. It's a lot dimmer than what it should be. You eventually, yes, can meet.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Right. So.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you say hi?
Keep swimming.
No.
No.
I agree. Okay.
Okay.
You say that?
So then we'll...
No, I'm doing it for the audience, man. They gotta... It's not just all visual.
No, you gotta
Yeah.
roleplay. Yeah, no.
Well,
Okay.
he is. He is.
Yeah.
So we swim toward Kuatoa then.
Okay, you guys don't really have a sense of direction, because you are in utter darkness, underwater, you can't breathe. What I'll say is the ranger, you have an innate sense of direction. Go ahead and roll a survival check to see if you pick the right place to go.
Hey. 26.
26.
Ooh.
Is that a natural 20?
Ooh.
No, but it was still high.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you were like, I know exactly where to go, backtrace my steps. You kind of like close your eyes and reorient yourself in a 3-dimensional space and figure out like, oh yeah, cool, that's the way I went. And you begin to swim that way. And then almost as if like passing through a veil of like cloudy ink, the bioluminescent coral big old mushroom forest just kind of shows up. And you see everything before you. How many minutes can you hold your breath?
Kuatoa? I can only hold my breath for 2.
How many minutes can you hold your breath, Ascoop?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay. Misheni, you're about a minute in. About halfway through your breath.
Okay.
Okay. You guys make it back. You see Hurt still slinging obscenities at this fish thing. Go like, I'll fry you up in a thick batter you and make sure I have you for dinner, you lily-livered fish person with bug eyes. I bet they taste like jelly.
Oh, Hurt.
I swim up to the Kuatoa.
Yeah, sure. You could swim up to the Kuatoa. As they they notice you approach like only when you're 15 feet from them. They didn't like see you until like, and then they like, and then they like get scared that they didn't notice you before, and they go, no! And they hide behind another stalk again, and then point their like coral sea glass spear at you.
I'm gonna talk underwater.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. Every sentence that you say costs you a minute of air.
A minute.
Please follow. We're landers. We mean no harm, friend.
Okay, that's 2. Okay, are you saying this in common or are you saying this in Kuatoa?
Kuatoa.
Okay, you say that. So you go. You, Misheni, see Ascoop go, and a bunch of bubbles come out of his mouth, and it looks like he can't hold his breath a whole lot longer. Looks like he can't hold his breath a whole lot longer. And then you see the Kuatoa go. To you, Ascoop says, "Blinders this deep, preposterous."
I kind of do this like I'm starting to joke.
What's wrong with your neck piece? Weird. You said you came from land? Absurd.
I gotta run, so.
Yeah.
He's like,
so.
Peace. Gotta go. He does look like he's less like. He doesn't have his like spear facing at you anymore. He's like, what? And he's like, what? How do you speak my language? I'm gonna do real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, he recognized. He's like, he points at the emblem on your tabard, and he's like, you're a follower of. Bye.
I can.
You want me to come with you?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
It's my job to guard this place and not let anybody go through. I'd be breaking my oath if I went through myself.
I don't want to do this.
You hear her.
I gotta go.
Did you understand?
Yeah.
We both do.
He's speaking in Misheni, you understand him. He's speaking in like this like weird Kuatoa common like gobbledygook combo. So you understand him. Scoop, you hear him like, yeah, I can't go there. I'd break my oath. That's not where I should go. This is absurd. You're absurd. I see that you are a follower of Bloop Doo Poop. What are you doing here? And that's pretty much what you hear from him. Whereas Misheni, you hear like, what the fuck is going on? And you and Hurt hear that. And Hurt hears go like, I'll break everything about you if you don't help us.
Yeah. I'll break everything about you.
She rolls an intimidation.
She's very intimidating right now, being a hurt balloon underwater.
Yeah.
Like,
Move.
although she did get to the like natural, neutral born part, so it's not as.
Yeah, she's like fully capable under here. Scoop, are you heading back?
Yeah.
Okay, you head back. Because
I will also head back.
Okay, both of you head back. He just looks confused as to what is happening. You guys go eventually, with the help of Misheni, you find that sweet spot and you get sucked back in. Tamarin and Nakata, you see, like after about a minute, Scoop and Misheni get forced out of the gate, and the only way you can tell is because eventually they float to the top. The water is now like halfway filled with the cenote now, and you guys have to swim real fast to get to the top of the surface. As you pull a Scoop up, and you finally break the surface.
All right. Do you
pull the potion out of your mouth?
Yeah. Do you want to go back? Like, and do you want to take this so that you can actually speak to him more? Like, that didn't work terribly well.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You take the compass too.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
thought we already did.
Oh yeah, we never used it. Never looked at it. Look at the compass this time.
You throw it in the water.
We don't have much more. I don't have a ton more time with it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also going to take my canteen or, just whatever I have for water, dump it out, fill it with air before going back down underneath.
You got
and
it. By dumping it out, you fill it with air. Yes.
Careful, Nat. Yeah, we don't have a lot more water left because I dumped all my water out too.
I know.
You're about to go into salt water, so yes.
Yay. I'm also going to slap a long strider on a Scoop so he can move a little faster in the water.
You got it.
Albeit not much, but all right, let's go. Are you? Yeah, I mean it's really deep. We didn't know where we were still, but hopefully this can help.
Also, they know who my god is. Let's go.
All right. If we're not back in like. What do you want to say, like 3 minutes or something? Or like 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Should they destroy the thing or come after?
Well, I'm not going to destroy it with you guys in there.
Okay, well
I'd say just pull whatever rope is, taut.
Yeah, maybe glom onto, if you need to, her, and then I'll pull her back with all of you glommed on.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, sounds good. All right. Diving back down.
Scoop, you take the potion, right?
Yes.
Okay, you. It tastes of salt, like brackish water, and like not so great. But then, like the aftertaste gets a lot better until it's like, and then like the latter half of the potion, you don't drink, you inhale. As you feel like gills beginning to form in your lungs, or just magically are able to, like gills internally, are not externally. Like you just,
I'm a fish again.
Able to have the capacity to breathe water.
Yes, again.
Again.
Yes, again.
Interesting.
And you guys go through the gate, and are pushed through this absolute torrential riptide and current again. This time, because you are not tethered, you get pushed well into the bioluminescent mushroom force and end up again like 20 feet from this dude. Right past Hurt. As Hurt, you just hear Hurt going as you just push right past her. She's just screaming underwater. Very, very par for the course.
Stop threatening them.
How did you do that? That's my thing. Talking underwater.
Oh, magic.
Fuck magic.
It doesn't matter. I gotta speak to Kuatoa.
Okay.
Stay there, being like a balloon.
Okay.
We are landers. We got teleported here, or we teleported here. We just want to know what's going on, as I look at the compass.
Yes.
What was that?
I was hoping he would look at the compass.
Okay, so a couple things happen. He's like,
Landers here? Like I said, you
Man, I just had to go up for air like a second ago. You literally saw me go out and do this. You just stood there doing nothing. We asked for you to call you guys to come. I understand you got
I'm on
posted.
probation. This is the worst posting ever. If I do well here, then I'll fall in good with the the popular people, and I get the grace of the deep and the whole thing.
You don't tell me to talk like that. I can clearly speak Kuatoa.
oh, right, yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah,
How's your head, TJ?
Our-
I feel like you.
Yeah, you
race
can give
is,
yourself a concussion.
like speaking our own language often it causes us our own people to be concussed, hence our low factor of intelligence stats across our individuals. So, but now that I've stopped shaking my head, this is my natural voice. Unfortunately, Misheni and Hurt just hear blah 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 blah.
Are they always producing bubbles? Or is it just
a little bit every once in a while.
okay?
It's like how they punctuate sentences. Bubble.
What are you? Well, I don't want to really go into detail. What does the compass look like? Where is it pointing? Inside?
It is pointing beyond the mushroom forest, or the mushroom
That they're guarding.
This is a dude. It looks as though he was guarding the hole, the cave, and wasn't expecting anything to happen because it's a bad posting, and something happened and he freaked the fuck out.
Gonna roll a perspective check just to see if what Misheni said was true. Since I'm actually close by, and see if there's
Misheni
corruption.
was true.
See if there's corruption. She said there was no corruption.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead. You can roll a perception check.
Is 19.
19. Yeah, you don't see. He just looks like normal flesh, Kuatoa, or fish, scaly. Doesn't look to have any barnacles or like urchins or any of that type of like. His form is aquatic, of course, but that's what it is in its natural state.
So with this water breathing potion, am I able to extend Misheni's oxygen limit?
No, you essentially breathe water. It doesn't mean that you get additional oxygen to then breathe into others' lungs. You just straight up breathe water, which means that you can also breathe air, but you would have to fill your lungs with air in order to give that air to somebody else.
Right.
If you
But
want
if
an underwater makeout session.
If he did take a deep breath before going in, he'd still have that 4 minutes of air in his lungs.
True, but your lungs can only contain so much air, hence your constitution modifier. You can refill it, but you can only refill it up to its maximum, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So she would have, what, an additional 2 minutes from the air I have in my lungs then?
Yeah,
Or
if
do
you wait till
wanna
she was about to drown.
Okay. I mean, that's just the last case scenario.
But yes, the compass is pointing just further. We'll just call it here. Let's just make it easy as far as to understand cardinal directions here. If we're looking at a bird's eye view, the cave that you came out of is on the south. And we'll say like you ended up into the void in like going up into like the northeast. There's like a chasm, kind of like a drop off between the cave that's part of like an underground or underwater mountainside here, bird's eye view. And there's like a chasm here. And then on the other side of the chasm, the drop off is this coral mushroom bioluminescent forest that continues north and like kind of like north by northeast and north by northwest.
I gotta take a screenshot. Oh, I missed it.
We couldn't
damn.
all.
I'm sorry. Did you miss my description?
immediately.
Because because Discord. Okay.
But you
froze
but Ascoop got-
And then on the other side of the chasm,
So on the other side of the chasm, there is a coral mushroom forest.
Access. Yeah.
There's a coral mushroom forest that spreads to the north. Again, bird's eye view of like north by northeast and north by northwest and further north. You just don't know how large it is. You can't tell. But it is like they're tall. They're like 120 feet, 200 feet tall, and some are like only like 5 feet tall. Whoop, hold on. Got a little lag issue here. Here we go. Some are like 5 feet tall and some are hundreds. And they're just this big old coral, like cool. And like the crowns, under the crowns, like the umbrella bit, is where they're like glowing and they're just kind of like undulating, kind of like anemones.
are
They're
they
mostly coral. It's weird.
coral? Okay, so it's
So
like,
like yeah,
a colony type.
the crown or the bell or whatever you want to call it, the top of it is coral and the stem is coral. Ah, dang, this lag issue. The stem
Okay.
is coral and the top of it is coral, but the underside where like it would release spores, kind of like has undulating like those ribbons of those layers, like where you have like spores in between those like folds. Those are like undulating, like glowing anemone kind of feel.
Okay.
Discord is not happy right now.
Well, do you want to swim and talk, Kuatoa? I mean, we're pretty much the only people here.
Sure. Oh, right. Sorry. I don't have to speak like that.
So, what are you on probation for? Why are you down here, guarding this portal?
Well, I may or may not have knocked over a very old statue that depicted a very frightening figure that was, let's just say, appreciated by many of the denizens of where I am employed. And unfortunately, that incident then ended up with me being posted in this absolutely deplorable position.
And you're guarding what?
Oh, well, I mean, they just, people just call it an old crab walker cave. Crab whopper, crab rave cave. Crab walk. It's a cave. It's there.
Rave cave?
It's old. The crabs sometimes raves in it, which is why there's lights every once in a while. But, yeah. Nothing happens there, usually, ever, at all. Sometimes, I'll take my break, and other people will relieve me, and they'll have, like, big caravans, and they say they'll go join the rave, or something, but, or they'll come back.
What's inside there? Just
I don't know, I've never been inside there. A bunch of things come out every once in a while. Like weird fish I've never seen before.
and they don't attack you?
No. They've got the blessing. They got the blessing of the queen. And they're so lucky. They have the cool stuff. They get to be like, super strong and that whole thing.
Who's the queen?
Oh, the queen of the deep, the sunken queen. The queen of the deep, the sunken queen, the brackish mistress. You're not familiar? She's been here for like forever. I mean, even Bliptopoop doesn't have anything on her. Let me tell you, Bliptopoop actually, she's been a little absent lately. So I thought I'd hedge my bets, if that makes any sense. And a lot of other people of my race my persuasion had the same idea, actually. Might as well, if, Blip-Doop-Poops, she can be a little unpredictable, right? And then, there's some of us that are really into that, the unpredictability is kind of like, live life on the wild side. That's kind of fun. But, there's others that are like, want a little bit more of a regular regimented, we want 3 squares a day, And so the Sunken Queen, she offers that and more. She's all into like, taking these old places that are sunken down and like turning those old ruins into something really nice and sprucey. And she's an equal opportunity employer, right? So you could be a lander, you could be an heirer, doesn't matter. She'll give you her blessing, and so you can be in her realm at all times, whatever you want.
So he's still speaking this in common, or is he speaking it in Kuatoa?
This job sucks!
It's like that common Kuatoa thing. He's speaking in full Kuatoa right now, like when he's every once in a while he slips into common and like shakes his head, and you have to be like, stop shaking your head.
I'll just do like the simple, like what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, you can give her the cliff notes very easily. Yeah, you can it takes like a couple seconds for you to give her the cliff notes.
Okay.
And then I just say, do you want to go there or where in the cave he's talking about?
Where's the compass pointing towards?
Towards coming further into the coral mushroom forest.
Then I'd point that way towards the.
All right. I guess we continue.
Your friend here is a lander, right? I assume you guys came here looking for the blessing? Is that why you guys are here? Right? Because, she's gonna die in, like, real soon.
Are you struggling?
How long has it been, DM?
Been about a minute.
Probably.
Oh, wait, you know what? Look, there are spots. There are spots. He talks to Ascoop. There are spots here for landers. Every once in a while, there's some plants here that naturally produce what you call it, oxygen, something like that. It's like they make little bubbles. Here. They constantly do it. Honestly, they bug the hell out of me. But you lander types are all really weird. It tastes like stale aluminum. It's very strange. But you enjoy if you like. They're like spotted throughout if you can find them. Not too bad.
Are they dangerous or?
I mean, I don't know. I never tried to breathe. Well, I did on a dare one time. Woo! Like, you ever had whippets before? Not a good idea. Permanent brain damage. That's why we shake our heads all the time.
It's I do the little cliff notes to Misheni and ask what she wants to do.
I will be on the lookout. I understand plants, so can I open up my mind to
underwater flora?
Passages?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a survival check with advantage.
I could talk to the plant and say, "Are you poisonous?" and she can understand.
That's true. Yeah, here, roll your survival check with advantage, and we'll see, just between the two of you. You will have to go deeper into the mushroom forest, just so you know. Or the coral forest.
I guess we'll unleash Hurt as well.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
No, we got a state pot.
Exactly. 17. And
17.
If I need to, I'll take a whiff out of the bag.
Well, before that happens, Ascoop, you do see what looks like, because you can see a little bit more here among all this light. You do see what looks like kind of trail of bubbles that just is traveling upward, you guess, from a plant that just and just the bubble just attaches. Very like, video game oxygen supply style, it's you swim up to it.
Mm-hmm.
You swim up.
You said you wanted to talk to it?
Oh yeah. Are you poisonous? Is the air you produce poisonous?
It releases little tiny bubbles.
What does it say?
You understand little tiny bubbles as a negatory.
I shake my head no.
I mean, you gotta breathe. I don't care. You can take it. I got the potion
It's
on
another
it.
big bubble. Yeah, you refill your oxygen.
Yay. Great. Give Ascoop the thumbs up. Let's keep going.
The Kuatoa dude comes over to you and he's like,
there are better spots to do that. There's like whole, what we call, eel gardens that are just big bubbles that are for like amphibious creatures that come down here. But they're farther into the deep.
Before we get too far away from the plant, I'm going to say, "Where's here?" And then swim and get
more air. You got it. Yeah. While you're here, you could just keep taking air and talking, and you just like, "Where's here?" with bubbles, and he's like,
"Your accent is horrible."
But but he eventually says like,
"We're in the coral mushroom forest on the edges of her domain. In the plane of water. Where else would we be?"
Plane of water. Well, shit. We ain't in Kansas anymore.
Mm-mm.
Hurt, you just hear?
That's hurt.
Yeah.
Well, Ascoop, we're not on the same plane. We need to do something about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Her accent is deplorable.
Her accent is absolutely, you know what? As a matter of fact, it's a little bit offensive.
Grab and run. Grab and run, Misheni. Okay.
Grab and run the other idol. Yes, let's do it.
What are you guys doing?
Grabbing and run. We're gonna go to the idol, grab it and run, or swim.
Are you gonna go back to the material plane?
No, we're grabbing the idol that we're going after right now with the compass.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going back to the material plane.
Okay. You just swim away from her, and she's like, "You bitches haven't said." And you just leave her there, and you swim past the Kuatoa, and he's like, "Well, now wait, son. No, wait. I can't just let you go. It's my job to make sure that you don't do whatever. I'm like, I am supposed to be, guiding you or preventing you.
Whoa! You said we can't go in there. We're over here.
Roll
we're not
persuasion
doing
check. Nakano and Tamron, it's been a while.
5.
Hertz rope is still taut, but it's been a while. The cenote is now completely full, and is starting to overflow and seep into the rainforest around it.
I'm gonna dive down and pull her back.
What was your persuasion check, real quick?
5.
We'll get to that in a moment. You dive down. You start to pull at Hertz. Roll an athletics check, real quick for me.
Natural 1.
We're doing so well on our athletics.
You don't really give yourself leverage. Like you don't find purchase on a rock or anything. You just try to swim in the opposite direction, pulling the rope, and it doesn't really yield any results.
Nakano, I'm too weak.
You swim back up and.
Sure.
Can you help me pull the rope? Could I give her advantage? Help me pull the rope.
Yeah, sure. You both dive back down.
Advantage, yeah.
You have bountiful luck, and she has luck.
11.
I
think I'm just a little tired.
Yeah, both
you have features.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
They both have features. She has lucky, and Cameron has bountiful luck.
No, he doesn't have bountiful luck. He has Tides of Chaos. Nobody has bountiful luck, but Nakano does have lucky.
Luck, which I can like.
Oh, he had bend.
I can add 4 to it. I can just add a D4 to it, which I feel like isn't going to do much in this situation. But
yeah.
Yeah, not.
Would you like to use a luck point on this?
I only have 2 sorcery points.
Oh yeah, I could. I'll reroll.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you reroll both of them?
No, right?
Is it just one?
Just one, right?
Yeah, you have 3 luck points of which you can re-roll a die, and then you have to take the new total.
Yeah, but it's at advantage. Can she roll both of them again, or just one of them?
No, it's just one extra re-roll. It's specific.
So re-roll the 1, not the 11. 19.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like you take the roll of whatever the check is, and you just take the new roll. Period.
Okay.
But 19 total.
Yeah.
19 total. Okay, you go down there and you are both swimming, and you're not getting anywhere, and then you realize, like, what are we doing? Why are we swimming when we could be using the leverage of the the rocks around us? And you
that was an intelligence check we failed.
And then Nakano, you stick all 4 of your spider limbs like attach thing, and you slowly start to like a cat crawler, like a big like piece of construction equipment. And you start to pull Hurt in, and you just hear in the distance as you guys are swimming away from Hurt. No, pull me back. No, fucking gotcha. Just very upset in the forced retreat. Eventually, Hurt does.
Never not upset.
Eventually, she does the slack. You move, and you get pushed back, and Hurt flies through, still attached to the rope, and she is there, and she rights herself underwater while you guys are holding your breath, which I assume isn't going to last for very much longer. And she looks at
2
you.
minutes, I think.
And she looks at you and says, "What'd you do that for?"
Well, it's been a while. Is everybody okay?
They left me with their new friend, the fish fuck.
Go to the surface so that we can actually talk.
Yeah, right. Because you said that underwater, and you realize that was on my air.
I'm dying.
you swim back up to the surface. She follows you.
So they seem like it's okay, right? Do we need to go in there? Are they safe?
I don't know. There was a fish dude. He was just scared I was gonna eat him because he looked like a little bitch boy. And then they started talking to him, and then they just left. They just left.
All right, so I think they wouldn't have left if they felt like they were in danger, right? I think we're okay.
What if their minds are fucked up by the stupid?
Well, they still have ascending left, right? Today, so if there is a real emergency, they would.
But if their minds are fucked up, they won't give a shit about you anymore. They got barnacles for eyes.
Oh, God.
Are you trying to freak me out, man? I mean, come on. I don't know.
I want to fight.
Yeah, maybe. No, I think it sounds like they're okay, right?
I got a 5 on my persuasion, I guess.
Right, and so we go back to 5 in your persuasion. He's like, well, now, let's not be too hasty. Here's the deal. if I fuck this job up, where if like, this whole thing that happened wasn't supposed to happen. And if that becomes, public knowledge, or, I'm not here or whatever, or, this, you can't be here. Because then I get fucked up anymore, and I would be livid, and so would the queen, and then I would never get her blessing. You do see what I'm saying? I'm already on thin ice, probation, that whole thing. Don't want to get into any more trouble. You equal trouble equals me. Not good. Got it?
You don't even know what you're guarding. You don't even know what
that hasn't stopped generations of us before.
But how do you know if what you're doing is right or wrong?
I don't. But I was told to do it, so I'm gonna do it.
I'm just following my goddess's, path, as you do.
Don't you feel she's a little unpredictable and a little, a little couple times?
I mean, you clearly know who she is, so you followed her at once too.
Oh yeah, I still every once in a while give her my alms, but like I said, the sunken queen, she's so much more reliable. I mean, like I get fed, I get like housing. You ever have a stipend before? Do you know what a stipend is?
Seems like your faith has dropped on a particular goddess. Now you just scramble to a new one.
Well, that was mean.
It's cold as fuck.
Is there another one of those plants nearby?
For your goddess to survive, you'll have to work in you.
Speckled throughout. You can easily stay breathing.
For your goddess to survive and to stay well and healthy, you guys have to work in unison.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm
praise.
Like, well, here's the deal. I'm trying to like I said, hedge my bets, keep my options open. Sunken Queen wasn't too much into that, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. Also, I destroyed a big statue.
You just go where the money is. Learn how to survive.
What do you
do? Is she actually a goddess, or is she something else? Sorry if this is impertinent.
I'm starting to get real sick of her accent.
Oh God!
If you could coach her a little bit, that'd be it's just I mean, it's okay because it's me and we're buds. It's fine, But if it's once you get into public, that kind of stuff is unacceptable.
I mean, what does she sound like to you? To like a New York accent?
The Sunken Queen is look. She showed up here. Oh God, who knows how long ago? Fathers, mothers, fathers, father. I don't remember. Anyway, she showed up here a while ago, and she was saying like, "Here, misheni," and Misheni, you're just like.
What?
There's lots of dough.
And and he is saying things. Well, she showed up here a long time ago, and she's got her whole thing with all these people that used to be, not sea people that are now sea people, and she's the savior of who knows whatever. I don't really know the whole lore. Anyway, she's extremely powerful, and she can listen to this. She has influence on other dimensions. Isn't that wild? I mean, good luck with Blipty Bloop trying to do something like that. I mean, I'm not trying to like throw shade, but she seems to, let's just say she's fickle.
I mean, you're the one that left her. I'm still with her. I'm almost always dying for her.
Are you trying to call me a cuck? Like, what's happening here?
I guess so. I mean, you ran away from a little girl not too long ago.
That was scary. That was the scariest thing that happened in my whole life. That was very scary. She is very scary.
Yeah, we're doing the impossible with landers being underwater.
Yes, that is scary. If you saw a fish, if you saw meat, well,
no, if you saw it, yeah, I know. That's how I became a
shark just grow legs and walk on land, wouldn't you be scared?
I mean, that's no. We've seen that.
That's a fib. I'm gonna call that a fib. You're fibbing.
This guy's the
worst. You can believe whatever you want.
Wow.
Like a shark person or something.
Yeah. Ascoop, we've been traveling for a while. Would I know that if you spoke Sylvan or not?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to kind of slip away and try to be in stealth away with the compass. And
right, and you still have pass without a trace.
Yes, and then Cat's Grace as well.
Okay, you got it. You stealth away. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
It was a nat 20, so 38.
38. Okay, so you just phase out of reality, and you become Noel in this Earth, and you are no longer Misheni, and then you reincorporate back into Misheni in a completely different area, wherever you want to go. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be on top of Mount Everest? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be?
I'm screaming at the Kota.
I want to be. I'm going to follow the compass until I see what it points to exactly, and if there's the idol there or not, or some form of the idol.
Okay. You easily enough are able to find a little AirPods plants that you can keep re-upping your drink, but you go for a good 5-10 minutes away from a scoop in this conversation. And you eventually see where the bioluminescent coral mushroom forest kind of drops into what looks like a massive caldera, and sitting in among this caldera is this beautiful, like all these different colors of what looks like an underwater city of like covered domes of, you don't know if it's like bubbles and air and seaweed and coral and all these different types of aquatic flora and fauna. But it looks as though this city is built, it's a massive city, and it's sitting in this like underground, like underwater caldera. And it looks like this city is built upon the ruins of something else, of something of a completely different style. And as you get to the limits of this caldera, like right where the drop-offs is, and the camera pans out, you see not too far off in one of the precipices that kind of like reaches and like just kind of dips over the edge of the caldera, standing what looks like a very large statue in the exact design of the fetish. And then you look down into the caldera and you see the ruins of more of this iconography scattered about, as though this city was built upon its ruins. Everywhere you see that type of creature emblazoned in this odd stone, and then below what looks like the city kind of dips down into an even like smaller hole, but looks like another caldera or like another tunnel that you can't see as it just descends into darkness. And your compass is pointing directly at one of these large statues that look exactly like the fetish. And that's where we're going to end our session.
Sweet.
And you remember what... Well, actually, we'll talk about that. Gluten Talk. So make sure you tune into Gluten Talk.
Gluten Talk.
Great. So we'll pick up there next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry about the technical difficulty at first. We will figure it out. And as always, stay safe out there, guys. Bye.
Bye.